What if I told you? History isn't boring. It's just been cleaned up. The real stories? They're chaotic, ridiculous, and sometimes unbelievably stupid. From emperors losing their minds to entire wars starting for no good reason. This is history without the filter. And if you want the facts they don't teach, subscribe now. Because once you see this side of history, you can't unsee it. This is the history dude. So what if I told you humans didn't survive ancient history because we were always intelligent? We survived because we kept doing incredibly strange, sometimes ridiculous things, and somehow didn't wipe ourselves out. In the Roman Empire, people used urine as mouthwash. In Sparta, boys were whipped in public as entertainment. Some monks in Asia tried to mummify themselves while still alive, and entire wars were fought over things as small as a bucket. These aren't myths. These are real history facts, the kind your textbooks quietly skipped. So in the Roman Empire, urine wasn't just waste. It was a cleaning product. Romans used it to wash clothes, and even as mouthwash. Why? Because urine contains ammonia, which can break down stains. So yes, ancient Romans were technically brushing their teeth with chemistry, just not the kind you'd recommend today. In Sparta, toughness wasn't optional. Young boys trained by being whipped at the altar of Artemis, not as punishment, as a contest. Who could endure the most pain without crying? People gathered to watch. Some even traveled just to see it. Ancient entertainment was different. In parts of Asia, certain monks practiced extreme discipline. Some attempted self-mummification. They followed strict diets, slowly reducing body fat, drinking toxic teas to preserve their bodies, all while still alive. If successful, their bodies were preserved after death and treated as sacred. If not, well, it didn't work. In ancient Greece, people had some unusual beliefs. One of them, that red-haired individuals might become vampires after death. There was no scientific reasoning, just fear of the unusual. Basically, if you looked different, people got suspicious. The Roman Emperor Caligula is famous for his strange behavior. According to historical sources, he loved his horse, Incitatus, so much that he reportedly planned to make it a senator, a horse, in Roman government. Now historians debate how literal this was, but even as a joke, it tells you everything about how people viewed his rule. In 1325, two Italian cities, Modena and Bologna, went to war over a stolen bucket. Not land, not power, a bucket. The conflict lasted years and involved real battles. And the bucket, it still exists today, which might be the most impressive part. There was a war between the Netherlands and the Isles of Scilly. It lasted 335 years, from 1651 to 1986. Sounds intense, except there were no battles, no casualties, no action at all. They simply forgot to officially end it. History's longest awkward silence. Ancient Roman writers described cases where teeth would suddenly explode. In reality, this was likely caused by severe infections. Pressure builds inside the tooth and eventually releases. Painful? Extremely. Terrifying? Absolutely. Ancient dentistry was not for the weak. Pirates weren't just chaotic criminals. They had structure. Crews voted for their captains, loot was shared, and if you were injured, you received compensation. Lose a limb, you got paid. In some ways, pirate ships were more organized than certain modern systems. Looking at all this, it's easy to laugh, and honestly, you should. But these people weren't trying to be ridiculous. They were working with what they knew, trial and error, a lot of error, and somehow, it worked well enough for humanity to survive. If you think ancient history was strange, wait until you see what happened when entire societies believed in witches and started putting people on trial based on dreams. History doesn't get less crazy, it just gets better documented. Subscribe if you want history that's accurate, but way crazier than fiction.